Hey everybody, welcome to a beehive. They're out. They are so happy right now. I wanted to, I'm going to open it up and we're going to take a peek in there and see. I don't have anything, girls. We're going to see what's going on in there. I think this one's doing healthy, but I've had some that I got big problems with. And that's kind of this project I want you to help me with is figure out how bees live, how they work, how their hives work, and then build me a hive that will ensure that they survive. But we got to learn some basics. So I'm going to suit up here and then we'll dig in and take a peek, okay? So let me get my gear on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got my veil on. A lot of beekeepers use this. I use a pair of gloves. But I've also given some videos to you to check out. One guy called JP. That guy's crazy. He's such a great skilled beekeeper, and he knows that keeping calm keeps the bees from doing anything like stinging. I just do this because I'm actually afraid of bees. But let's take a look inside. I got this smoke, and smoke doesn't hurt the bees, but it calms them down. So this is my smoker. You can see the smoke coming out. And I got this tool right here. It's called a hive tool, and you'll see how it works once I get into the hive. Okay, so let's give these bees a little bit of smoke. Just tells them, calm down. It's okay. Stay in your hive. Relax. And I'm going to open it up kind of from behind. You can see that hive there. Yeah. All right. Oop. Let's get this right. Hey. So this is the outer cover. Pull this guy off, really gentle. There's nothing inside there. I'm going to put it right here so I can use it to rest things. Now I got my hive tool. And I'm just going to gently open up the inner cover. Sometimes it's a bit stickier. They make this really sticky, waxy stuff called propolis, but not too much today. Oh. So this hive is really active. I was afraid actually this winter that it was going to die. It was so small. It was only down to like the size of a little cantaloupe, even smaller of bees, like so tiny. So let's open these up. Now this box, it's got a fancy name. It's called a super. And there's two supers on top of each other. Now inside the super, there's usually frames. And most keepers put 10 frames inside each one. Now this one, oh, look at that. There they are. You see that? They're moving. They're building wax. It's called drawing out the comb. So this is like honeycomb, but sometimes it's full of babies. So it turns into like baby comb, I guess. Let's pull these guys out. Wouldn't it be great if we could see the queen? I don't see her anywhere yet. Wow. Oh, so now there's something in there. It's sort of that orangey color. Can you see? Yeah, that's called the pollen. So bees collect nectar, they make into honey. They also collect pollen, and that's something they're going to feed the babies. This time of year, tons of babies are getting born. So it's good to see this hive has got a whole bunch of pollen they've collected from nearby flowers. Oh, check it out. So here's the other thing that they produce is the babies. You can see these caps on the cells that are covered in sort of a brownish wax. That's a sign that there's not honey under there. There's adults that are almost ready to pop out. And they're making extra wax on the bottom. We don't need that. I'll take that away. Oh, there's our queen. Can you see her? She's right there. She's a bit darker. She's got a large black body. She's going up that direction. Look at her. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful queen. I hope you can see it. I hope she's in focus. Pretty awesome to spot the queen. And she's in there. I'm going to check. Oh, I can see she's been laying an egg in every single cell. I'll show you what the eggs look like. I'll show you what the larvae look like. I'm going to put her away. I know she's happy and healthy. That's all I wanted to know. I'm going to put these frames back in here. That was a good sign. So we saw pollen. We saw the babies called brood. We saw the queen. We didn't see much honey though. I wonder if they've stuck any around the edges. Sometimes they put it on the edge. Lots of babies, not lots of honey though. Huh. I'm going to take this empty frame and I'm going to put it next to where she was so that she's always got a few extra cells to lay eggs into, and that'll keep her from wanting to run away from me. Tuck that in there. Now there's one thing I wanted to check while you're here. The bottom super. We didn't have to smoke them much, did we? That's good. I want to see if there's actually any honey or any brood down there, because I might actually have to take this hive and split it in two if it's growing so fast, which would be an awesome problem to have this time of year in early May. So I'm going to lift that one up. I'm going to put it right here. Oh, it's connected by something on the bottom. There we go. And I can see on the bottom, I've only got about 2 or 3 frames that are really full. So, some old pollen. See, there's a whole bunch of bees just working really hard here. Oh, look at that. Can you see? Again, there's that sort of leathery brown covering right on there. And that's a sign that there's an adult bee just about ready to pop out. And there's a whole bunch of babies that haven't had their wax coating put on yet. And they need that too before they can grow. So this whole frame, it probably has about 2,000 bees that are going to be born in like a matter of a week. Oh, and the backside looks just the same. So this is good. This hive is going to explode. I'm going to put them away. Thanks, bees. Close that up. Let them do their business. Gently. We got to see the queen. So cool. So those are my 2 supers. They sit on a bottom board. On the top, I put my inner cover. That helps them so that moisture can't get in and drip on them. It's an important part of a good hive. Maybe you'll include it in the hive that you build for me in your poster. And the last thing I put on to keep the rain out is a really sturdy outer cover. Okay? Lay it on there. And I'll just let them be busy. Awesome. Thanks for watching. We got more to talk about later. Think about that. Write down some notes. Draw some pictures if you want. Okay? Right on. I got my veil off and I got my honeybee toys. So let's talk about what we saw in the hive. Let's start with the queen. It was good that we saw her. It's pretty awesome because she often really loves to hide and get away. She's very tricky. So it was great that we saw her. Do you know what her job is though? Not to be bossy, like a queen boss. Her job is to lay eggs. Right there. Looks like this. This one's a little bit bigger. Like a little grain of rice. Okay? Inside the cell of the comb. So she puts her abdomen down, lays one egg right in the middle, and then does it hundreds and hundreds of times. That's her job. This little egg sits just like this, right up on its end for about 3 days, and on the 3rd day, it hatches, and out comes kind of a little caterpillar-y one called a larvae. So there's a larvae. Looks like something you'd pull out of your garden, and they are kind of like a white, clear color in there in real life. And it sits at the bottom of the cell and grows for another 6 days. So now we're at day 9. So for 9 days, we'll get something like this. But at day 9, the worker bees who are caring for the babies give them some food, and then they cover it with wax. Remember we saw the brown, leathery, waxy coating across the top of the cells? That's what happens. Day 9. So 9 days. Inside the cell starts growing this clear white honeybee thing called a pupa. And the back of it looks a little bit more like a honeybee, but it's still clear, and the only dark thing really for the whole time is its eyes. It grows like that for another about 11 days. So we're at 21 days. 21 days to finally, at the very end, with its little mouth, nibbles open this wax, and out comes, ta-da, an adult honeybee. And this is the bee that's going to guard, it's going to clean, it's going to forage, it's going to look after the queen, it's going to have all sorts of tasks during its life until it finally dies. Its whole job is to care for the health of the hive. Really cool. So there's the 4 stages. The egg, okay, the little larvae, the pupa, ooh, kind of an alien looking guy, and the adult, right? And they're so important. We think honey's important. Well, honey feeds the adults, but pollen's going to feed these two, and if we don't have any eggs, the hive dies. So each one of these stages is so important. I hope that you think about that when you design your hive. When you think about bees, how are you going to protect the eggs? How are you going to protect the larvae? How are you going to make sure they get enough food? How are you going to protect them from predators like wasps? Wasps love to come in and tear these little guys out and eat them. It usually happens in the fall, like in October, September. They're super aggressive, and I don't know many beekeepers who like wasps. Maybe there's a way to keep them out. Maybe there's a way to get rid of them. Maybe there's a way to trick them. I hope you use your creativity and figure out how we can protect them. And then last of all, these adults, they need to eat the honey, which comes from nectar. Is there a way to make sure that we can protect them, to feed them, to keep them safe from the weather? There's a lot of things to be concerned about. But now you know the 4 stages, you can start thinking more specifically about to help each one of those stages. Okay? Good luck. Talk to you soon.